Thanks.
All right, Steve Ogborn, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And now I'm going to go to young Brodie. I got Brodie Kostecki. I got a double barrel for you guys. I got Brodie Kostecki on one line and Kyle Larson on the other line. So we'll talk to them side by side here. So let's talk to young Brodie first of all. Andy, go right ahead.
Well, do you know these are both USAC stars right now, and you know one is younger than the other, but
that's right.
They both right now. One is probably has broken a record for the. When you combo up all the races, it's never ever been done, not even by Tony Stewart. The other one is probably the youngest winner ever in the USAC to win as many events as he has. So, and obviously coming from Western Australia and Brodie coming from my hometown, in fact his dad's engine shop was only about 5 miles from my shop. So we've known of each other for some time.
Well, that's great, great. And Brodie, how are you? How old are you?
Good, thanks, and I'm 13.
You're 13. All right, and you're running the junior focus, but they've also let you run in some senior focus races, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Andy was talking about the number of races you won. How many have you won so far since you've been in the States?
I've won 20 races out of 24 starts.
20 out of 24.
That's a pretty good average, Tony, isn't it?
For 13, yeah, especially running in Ford Focus, too. So have they all been in the Ford Focus, or have you been racing other cars?
I'm sorry?
Have they all been in Ford Focus, or have you been racing other cars as well?
This year I've been focusing on the Young Gun Series, and then USAC allowed me to run the full focus class, which you can run at 14 years of age.
Okay.
And so we're pretty much just focusing on the Young Gun Series right now, and then so we're leading the points in the Young Gun Series in the national points and the Western Championship. And now we're also leading the Western Championship for the Ford Focus Series, and we're really close for the National Series too. So we've been working really hard at it.
And how many more races are for the season for you to take a shot at the National?
We've got 4 races to go. My next race will be this weekend at All American Speedway.
All right, at Roseville. All right.
Yes, yes.
Andy, any questions?
Yeah, you know, Brodie, you came out here all the way from Western Australia. Basically, you're a go-kart racer back there, and one of the top 50 go-kart racers in Australia. You haven't driven anything like this, and I guess you started out doing the pavement. Then you turn to dirt, and often it gets said that drivers become a better driver from some dirt experience. Do you believe that's so with your racing as well? I know I've seen you on the dirt, and for the amount of dirt races you had, you are very impressive.
Yeah, I think certainly it taught me car control, and also taught me just kind of trust the car a lot more on the pavement. I think that just has a lot to do with pavement racing, is just trusting the car.
So I'm going to ask Kyle Larson now that same question. Kyle, you came from the dirt, and you jumped on the pavement and never been on pavement before, and yet you turned out some fast times in USAC and also win some races on the pavement. Do you think that that holds true, that your ability on dirt makes a big difference on pavement?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, like you said, it teaches you car control, so you can run the car pretty free, I think, in pavement, and that's what you need to be fast, I think, at the end of the races.
Do you realize that you've established a record that no one else has set? Do you realize that?
I guess. I don't know.
Andy, I'm going to have Andy explain it to you, man. This is unbelievable.
Okay. Colin, if you combo up the races, so not necessarily you won the most races everybody's ever won in the season, but when you combo up midgets, sprint cars, Silver Crown, you then combo it up to dirt and pavement, and then you take the wing, non-wing. Then you go 360 and 410. No one has ever done this feat, not even Tony Stewart. And a lot of drivers say you're very much like Tony Stewart. You're very, very universal. And believe me, you have set a record. And I've asked a lot of people around, even people like Bobby Joe will agree. No one has ever done the feat that you've done. And to accomplish that this season is unbelievable. I know when you went to the midgets and first up winning on Asphalt pretty much straight away, it's just unbelievable where you're at. And I guess right now, you just keep winning, and then you come from winning the Gold Cup, the youngest ever winner of the Gold Cup. You nearly got the one at Antioch. If it hadn't been for a red light, you're inside of Kinza, and you're on a roll and you would have been gone. So that would have probably been 2 outlaw races in a row. So, but as I say, no one has ever done what you've done this season. It is absolutely amazing.
Well, I would agree with that, and I would almost guarantee that nobody has ever won a USAC race and a World of Outlaw race in the same season, let alone any of that. But
let alone in the same week.
But
yeah, it's in the same week.
To me, the most impressive thing is because I've been paying attention also, and is like Andy said, in all these different kinds of cars, but back to back. You know, if memory serves me, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but I think you won your first midget race, and then the very next week you won both nights of the Belleville Nationals, and then went right from there to Iowa and won the Ultimate Challenge in a non-wing sprint car, and then went right from there to a wing 360 and won. I mean, I don't, you know, those are just back to back to back jumping in different kinds of cars. We're not even talking about in a season. We're talking like in a week.
In a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
One of the other things that really impressed me with Kyle Larson is, Kyle, we've seen you 21st to lead at Antioch. Unfortunately, the throttle hung up and got upside down. But my belief is you're actually a better driver when you start back in the pack a little. We've seen you win races up the front. You know, a lot of drivers, young guns, have won up the front. But you consistently do this from winning way back as well. And you don't see a lot of that happening around, and that's why the fans really enjoy watching you racing, especially at Antioch. That drive from 21st to the lead on the King of West race was amazing. And then again, you do it the same thing with the World of Outlaws. I say, what you do from the back of the pack, that is amazing. And not only just those wins, it's just the way you get them done is amazing as well. They're not, a lot of them are not on the front row. They're coming from back of the pack a lot.
Yeah, I think the only race that I won outside of maybe the first 3 rows or so this year was the one at Chico Thursday night with the car. Hang on 1 second. And then, but other than that, they all come from up in the front. You know, I've gotten like top 3s and stuff from deep in the field, but it's tough to win races when you don't start up front. So I think that's why I've been winning so much lately, just because I've been putting myself in position early in the night, finally, to get myself to start up front in the features.
Yeah, your qualifying, you definitely improved your qualifying, I believe. And, you know, actually, Tony, Brodie's pretty much in the mold of Kyle Larson. Brodie's having to start up the back a lot of times right now, so he's winning a lot of these races from way back, you know, at the tail of the field. They've been doing full inverts. He's been getting the job done. So, 2 USAC drivers getting the job done from further back. It's great to see, Colin. One thing I have noticed as well, your fan base has increased the last few months. It's incredible out there, the amount of fans that are really jumping on Kyle Larson now. You're getting a huge fan base, and you certainly deserve it.
Before I get back to Brodie, I have a couple of questions for Brodie, but I got to ask you, Kyle, rumor has it that you've been looking at becoming a development driver for one of the major either Indy teams or NASCAR teams. Has anybody talked to you, and have you looked at signing with anybody?
No, I haven't really done any of that. I've gone to like meetings and stuff, but that's all really is just meeting with them and getting to know who they are and stuff. But there's been no deals or anything that I've been offered or anything yet. So if I got one, I'd definitely take it though.
Yeah, I definitely would too.
I have a quick question too, Kyle. You know, a lot of people kind of wonder how you adapt so quickly to the different disciplines of cars. Is it something you have to consciously think about on the way to the racetrack, or is it just kind of a natural feel that once you get in a race car that you quickly adapt to it and feel what the car needs?
Well, in the beginning of the year, I kind of had to tell myself what car I was in and what it kind of takes to drive those cars. But now that I'm late in the year and I've done it so much this season, it's kind of come naturally, seems like lately, and it doesn't take but a lap or two to get back used to it.
Well, it's been very impressive. I've raced, you know, multiple different kinds of cars in a year, and I know it took me more than a few laps to adapt back to whatever I was driving, and I've been duly impressed by how quickly you've adapted in almost every instance.
Yeah.
Carl, I've got a question for you. The $5 million race coming up in Vegas for the IndyCars. Has anyone approached you about that at all? Has anyone sort of something to you about that yet at all?
No, nobody at all. I don't think I'd have a shot at winning that race anyways.
You'd be surprised.
Well, the way you've been adapted so quick, I wouldn't count it out, buddy.
Well, and you know, with obviously a lot of people are taking notice, and when you got Robin Miller on Speed Channel that's pleading with car owners to give Kyle Larson. I heard him plead with car owners to give Kyle Larson a shot. He's kind of bragging up on him. So
Yeah.
there's definitely big things in the works for him, I'm sure.
Adam Alexander did pretty much the same thing on Speed News the other night. They changed the name of it now, but he specifically said when they came to some video of you racing with the Gold Cup, he asked everybody to remember this name, Kyle Larson. So don't worry, buddy. There's a lot of people out there putting your name out there. The door, someone will knock that door down sooner or later.
Kyle, I got to ask you about racing in the Midwest and the East compared to racing on the West Coast, and what's it feel like, and how much different is it?
It's been fun racing out here. The racing's a little bit different, you know, there's more cars, and definitely the quality of cars and competition is a little bit better in California, so it makes the racing just more exciting and makes you become a better driver just because all the other drivers are tough to beat, and so you just gotta step up your game also, and I think just racing out here has made me a better driver all around with just racing harder and learning how to race on different tracks every night.
When will we see you back? How many more races will we see you back in California for this season?
Well, I'll be at All Nationals next week, and then Trophy Cup also at Tulare.
Hey Kyle, I gotta ask you just on the fun factor, what has been the most fun race car you've been in between dirt midget, pavement midget, wing sprint car, non-wing sprint car? What's the most fun you have driving?
I still like wing 410s the best. Just the speed and everything about them is just awesome. But I've also enjoyed the pavement midget and also the pavement silver crown cars. Those are pretty fun on the big tracks like Milwaukee and Iowa. So those have been pretty fun.
I've got a young man on the line who has some questions, so caller, state your name and ask your question. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, state your name and ask your question.
My name is Chase Wood, and I'm a friend of Cowboys, and I want to know if they pushed him on next year for anything with Antioch, because I know he's a big supporter with the Antioch deal.
Well, I don't know anything about what's going on there next year, Chase. They haven't mentioned anything about any races at all. But do you have a question for Kyle Larson or Brodie?
Nope. I've been fans of theirs and watched them, and I have no questions for them.
All right. Well, Chase, thanks for calling. I'm glad you're listening to the show, and I hope you'll call back again.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to young Brodie. Brodie, what's if you picked up the championship in the junior Focus, if you picked it up in the Focus in the National, and you've got Rookie of the Year in both, where do you go from here, Brodie?
For next year, we have a few things happening for next year with different teams, and that should be announced towards the end of the year. But all I'm focusing on right now is going on race by race and try as much as I can, try and get as much exposure as I can, and I guess that's how you're going to take it to win a championship.
Now, when will you turn 14?
November 1st.
November 1st, okay. All right, so you've got a little ways to go yet to stay 13.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Andy, do you have any more questions for young Brodie? So far, so good.
Yeah, Brodie, I guess, as I say, you're not really announcing what you've done, but I guess you got some support to get what you've got so far.
Yeah, definitely my sponsors, Arcoplate and Ellisville International. They've just been a great help this year, and we put this program together at the start of the year. But they were glad that we found them, and they've got some offices here in the United States, and just it's great to have a feeling that you can have someone behind you, and that definitely helps a lot, takes a lot of stress off people around me.
Brodie, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And when you get yourself lined up for next year, I want you to come back on the show and tell me all about what's going to happen for you, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and the best to you for the rest of the season. I look forward to seeing you at least lock down 1 or 2 championships before it's over. And good luck at that. We'll talk with you again soon. Andy, any other questions?
No, I think Brodie pretty much summed it up. And they go to Roseville this week and race at All-American Speedway. So for anyone that's up in that area, you can see the talent of Brodie Kostecki in that Ford Focus.
Yes, that's right. And you'll be in both cars this weekend, right?
Yeah, I guess they'll be running the Focus and the Junior Focus.
Yeah, they usually run them side by side. Well, the best to you, young man, and look forward to talking with you again soon.
Good luck, Brodie.
Thank you. Young Brodie Kostecki, ladies and gentlemen, 13 years old, just visiting us from Australia, doing a heck of a job racing open wheel here in the States. And we're also talking